Hello and welcome to our show. I'm Irma Baker. We're here today with some very interesting guests on things that you can do as the fall and winter makes you feel just a little bit maybe homebound, but you don't have to be. Right after this message from our sponsor, Mature Services, and RSVP, the Retired Senior Volunteer Program, we'll be back with our guests.
RSVP of Summit County has been making a difference in our community since 1972. RSVP volunteers are increasing the quality of life by participating in programs and organizations that provide important services to the community. RSVP matches personal interests and skills with opportunities to serve. If you're interested in adding more meaning to your life and improving the lives of others, please call 330-253-4597 extension 166.
Welcome back. Our guests today are Tina Sable. She is the Community Relations Associate from the Medina County District Library, and Holly Camino, who is the manager of the Buckeye branch of the Medina Library. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Wonderful to have you with us today to tell us about all the things that are available through the Medina County District Library. Now, I grew up at a time when the library was books, and I was very fortunate. Living up in Cleveland at that time, I had one of the Carnegie libraries, beautiful building, lovely rooms and all, and books. And to me, that's what a library was. But now, a library is really, it's a destination. You have so many things that are done. Tina, I'm going to start with you. Okay. Tell us a little bit about the kinds of services and resources that are available at the library.
Well, Irma, thank you for pointing out that really libraries are a community destination because as you are aware, the libraries in Medina County District Library did a complete overhaul of our libraries between 8 and 10 years ago. In fact, Holly's library, the Buckeye Library, was the first one to open brand new, and we're going to be celebrating that 10-year anniversary here in December. And when we were designing those libraries, the community, that word just kept being said over and over and over. We're designing this to meet the needs of the community. And whatever those needs are, we will evolve to meet those. And a big part of that was, of course, having meeting rooms and places for people in the community to come to the library. Obviously, they're going to be looking for books, looking for movies, entertainment, coming to programs, but also just using the physical building as a community gathering place. And that is very important to us. And if you look at the sign-ups for our meeting rooms, you will see that they are very important to others as well, because I was just trying to book a room for our youth football banquet, and it's just filled up. Girl Scout troop that I run, filled up. So you really have to book them well in advance because they are heavily, heavily used in this community.
Well, Tina, how many branches do you have? I know we have pictures of some of the branches. Tell us a little bit about the number of branches you have, where they're located.
Okay, let me start with Highland. Highland Library is located right on the Highland Schools campus on 94. Then we have the Buckeye Library that is also located on the Buckeye Local Schools campus, or right next to it. We did that for a reason. Once again, the sense of community, especially in areas where the schools, such as Buckeye and Highland, are really the center of those townships. And that's where you will get the majority of people because of the schools driving them in. And so we put the libraries very near to them. It allows for the youth to come right over and visit us, attend programs, check out materials, etc. In the south part of the county, we have the Seville Library that is in the same location it's been for quite a while. It's right there on the corner, right in the downtown Seville area. Then in Lodi, we built a brand new library, just right up the street from where it's always been Worcester Street, I believe it is. And it's just right up there on the hill. And then, of course, we have the Medina Library right in the center of the square. And part of the Buckeye Library is the outreach services, which actually I will let Holly talk about because that's her branch, and she used to actually be one of the librarians who did the outreach services for older adults and people in the community.
Well, Holly, do tell us about that, because much of our viewing audience is made up of older adults, and they use the services on a variety of levels, I believe.
Absolutely. In my building, like Tina mentioned, we house the outreach and bookmobile services. So in the building, we house the bookmobile and also our delivery vans. We have 2 librarians that pull materials for about 150 individuals who are homebound or in nursing homes, and those materials get delivered directly to them. For those people who can't come to our libraries, we want to make sure that there's ways that we can reach them. We also offer our bookmobile services, who had over 20 stops throughout the county, so that people who it's a little bit more convenient for them if they're not as close to one of our other library locations, that they can come onto the bookmobile. The bookmobile has over 4,000 items on board, materials for everybody. People can put things on hold and pick them up at their bookmobile stop as well.
Now, when you say a bookmobile stop, are you talking about, you go to like a nursing home or something, or is this a public area where anybody in the community can come to the bookmobile?
It's both. It's both. There are stops that are at specific locations, but anybody can go on at those locations. We have on our newsletter and our website all of the different stops and the times that the bookmobile will be there, and they are all throughout the county.
Well, you just mentioned the newsletter and the bookmobile. Bookmobiles, I think of, children's stories that I read about country, farm kids going to the bookmobile, but this is within city limits then as well.
Yes, yes.
But talk a little bit about your newsletter, because I looked at it online and we have copies. We have copies right here of the newsletter, and it's fabulous. There's so much in it.
Our newsletter comes out quarterly, so every quarter there's new things going on at the library. People can sign up through our website online to receive the newsletter directly to their inbox, or they can come to any of our locations and pick one up. And in there you will find just everything that we are doing. Information about programs, information about services that we offer, and highlighted programs that are big events that we do throughout the system.
Well, I know I had an opportunity to participate in one of your events this year, and that was your Writers Live series, when you had several of our local authors present. In fact, one of them, Casey Daniels, has been on the show here. So it was really nice to be able to participate in that. And that was a lovely event. You have all kinds of things. That happened to be a luncheon and speaker, but you have all kinds of events. I see some are outdoor events, some are indoor.
We try to appeal to everybody. Like you said, the Writers Live event was a luncheon event. We do that every spring and fall. We bring in an author and have a luncheon event, and that's a paid event that people need to pay for. But we do a lot of other author events which are free. Every year we try to concentrate on a different age group, and so this year we're focusing on teens, and we're bringing in a big teen author. Next year we'll do another One Book, One Community project, where we will be bringing in the author of the book that we'll be reading next year, and it's more of an adult type of novel that we'll be reading. So there's just something for everybody. We offer story times at all of our locations, and we see a lot of grandparents bringing their grandchildren in. We see a lot more of grandma and grandpa helping out and watching the kids. We have story times at all of our locations, so people can look on our newsletter and sign up.
I don't see how a library could be a library without having story time. It seems like story time, that is what people think of, books and story time. And it's wonderful that it is a place where grandparents can bring them, or maybe an aunt and uncle, someone who is in that intergenerational relationship with children. But you also have programs, and this is for either of you, either Holly or Tina, you also have programs that are specifically for older adults. What kind of things do you offer?
Well, one thing I can think of, it's not necessarily a program, but we have a lot of people who may be retiring. They've hit that limit. They can retire at a young age, and why wouldn't you? And they want to enjoy that retirement, and maybe they want to volunteer. Maybe they want to keep learning. I mean, they've been working all these years, and maybe they want to get back into school, or at least just take courses. And we actually have something online. As long as you have a library card, and you can even get a library card just for our online services, we have many, many databases. And I know the word database sounds really boring, but it's not. We have databases that allow you to learn a new language. We've all heard of Rosetta Stone. Well, we have something called Mango. And Mango allows you to learn a language just online. And there's no fee because we pay the subscription, and Medina County District Library does, so that you may use it. There's also, for the younger generation as well, practice ACT and SAT tests, which are so important because we all know how important it is to get a good score on those, get into a good college. And a lot of times, the teenagers might not know about it. Mom and dad, grandma and grandpa might hear about it and let them know about it. So we have a lot of ways to learn without necessarily, and not that we don't want you coming in the library, but you can do from home. You can do this at 1 o'clock in the morning or whenever your schedule is open. And downloading books, movies, entertainment of any kind, magazines, we have so much online. And I always tell people, if you tried the downloadables maybe 5-6 years ago and it was confusing, or you found it frustrating, or you maybe didn't find what you were looking for, we have so much more now. It has come so far, and I would greatly suggest people try it again. Even bring in your device, bring in your Kindle or your iPad, or if you want to do it on your phone, and ask one of the librarians to show you and to walk you through it. Call ahead so they have that time set aside specifically for you. We encourage people to do that because we want you to make the most of what your tax dollars are providing you. I mean, we're here for a reason, and we want to help you. So, make the most of it and get all you can from your library, because why not?
Well, I'm thinking something you just mentioned was, you can do this at 1 in the morning. Mm-hmm. There are many older people who have a hard time sleeping.
Yes.
And the idea of having the library accessible online, so many of your services and your resources available online, that just opens up, it opens up the whole library world there.
Yes, it does.
How do you find older adults perhaps participating in your services or adapting to your services? And either one, I mean, Holly, you certainly have a lot of older adults who are coming into the Buckeye branch. How do you find them perhaps adapting to the technology or coming in? I imagine from looking at the pictures of the different library branches, I imagine I'd come in and I'd probably be staring all over the place. These are fabulous buildings.
Absolutely. We have people coming in all the time at all different levels of experience with technology, and that's why we're there. We're there to help people at any level get the experience they need to be able to use what we have. I've had people come in with the Kindle in the box and they're afraid to open it, and I've had people who have their iPads and they're just whipping through, and we can help them put the apps on their devices and help them navigate through how to use it. And like Tina said, it has gotten so much easier to use our online resources. We also have a Know It Now where people can ask questions 24/7 through our website. So any time of day, people can get online and ask a question to a librarian. It's staffed through librarians throughout the state of Ohio. So we have lots of ways people can get answers. I also wanted to talk about, we have a genealogy department in the Medina Library, which we see a lot of older people using that. When you have time and you're retired, you can spend more time doing your family research, and we have 2 great people on staff who really know genealogy, can help you navigate through genealogy and how to get started, and to use the room in Medina that has a lot of resources for Medina County residents.
So you actually have an area that at the Medina, the main library there, that's dedicated to genealogy?
Yes, we have a separate room that has the genealogy resources and a microfilm reader, so people can order in and do their own genealogy.
That's a fabulous resource. One of the things that I'm picking up from what you're both saying is that libraries are no longer the place where it's shh,
No.
Not at all.
It's not like that, especially at my library, being right next to Buckeye schools. I see 60 to 80 plus kids every day in my building, and it's not quiet. It's definitely more of a community center. The focus of libraries, like you said, when you were using them, we're all about books. We're about books because that's what we do best, but we're also about so many other things.
How have you changed, and maybe Tina, you want to pick up on this. How have you changed in your own approach or your own perception of what a library should be?
Well, I know, being in the community relations department, I really try, and I think we're doing a good job here of that, of letting people know that we aren't that old-fashioned library, like you were saying. We go out, and I think our enthusiasm is contagious. We've both been working here for a long time. We're both from Medina County. She's working at the library right next door to the high school she went to. I'm working at the Medina Library. I went to Medina High School. We deeply care about our communities. We care